Lovelies, this is a Psychic Sleuth, and I'm sorry that it's been so long since I've done a reading or a video, but I've been trying to gain some energy back. I wasn't feeling too well for a while, and I just was extremely exhausted, and as you know, this work takes a lot of energy. So, I feel that this case was important to get out there, and I've been working with a close friend of hers in order to validate information, and so far it's been accurate from what we know. If you're able to add anything, please don't hesitate to contact me. The information will be down at the description, as she and others need justice. Remember, sometimes things can be symbolic. I knew nothing of the case prior, as it all started when I was drawn to her picture on Psychic Cold Cases. And her name is Amber Lungren, and I hope I'm saying that right. It's Lundgren. So all the readings I've done on Amber, I've done 3 so far, but the first 2 I didn't realize that it was the same woman till later in the second reading. Much of the information was exact same. Everything that could be validated, where she was found, how she was, certain times, etc., was all validated by her friend after I got the information, like we do regular readings. I am hoping that this information brings new light to her case, and that is why we are putting it out there. Remember, names and numbers can be in connection to. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and these are just psychic medium impressions as I have received them in Amber Lundgren's case. So the first 2 readings I did on Amber. One was done in Psychic Cold Cases on Facebook. I was drawn to her. I started getting information, and it was validated as we went along. I was able to describe the man the same way, and it turns out there's a sketch that was done that matches the description that I got. It was brought to my attention later after the reading. Also, again in my group, which her friend had no idea was mine, it was posted again. I didn't recognize her, but I was drawn to her. Many months had passed. Halfway through the reading, I realized that it was the same Amber I had done a reading on before. Many of the information that came through was the same, especially the description of the chestnut hair, mustache, and beard. The name Charlie came in 2 times, both times. I'm going to talk about the stuff that was the same. A low-riding sports car with pop-up lights, Corvette. It was red. Strangler, hands around her throat. Knife came in 2 times. Can work on car, oil, and rag. A tool in his hand, a wrench, face mostly covered in between the hair and his hat. Looks like a black rimmed hat. As my son would call it, I believe it's called a fedora, but I don't know if that's the same kind of, if we're thinking of the same kind of hat. Initial A, that was before I knew her name was Amber. It was, let's see, he has a bit of a twang to his voice. Car looks to be a stick shift. Didn't feel alarmed at first. Called her darling. He likes to go to strip clubs. He trolls and he stalks. That came in twice. Places with lots of women. That came in twice. Jeans at times tighter. Predator, and he does watch. Ring on his finger. It had a thick look to it. Smokes and also chews toothpicks. That came in twice. The name Alyssa, maybe a victim or connected to. The flash of a knife. Hands around my throat. Brown hair, beard, and mustache came in twice. Wearing, and I might repeat because I went through and I wrote down, you know, what had come in both times. Wearing a hat that tips down. Voice sort of deep at times. Late 30s, early 40s. Predator, killed more than just her. Active in the area. The mention of Montana came up. Not sure if the Corvette came up. Not sure if he still has it or may have it now. I feel like he had multiple cars. Rag and tool in his hand. The works on the car again came in. Strip club, something with pony or horse, because I heard horse and I saw lights that were pink. And there was a pink lady in lights. So, in reference to strip clubs or stripper. Then July 17th. 2018, I did it again. Predator, does watch. Robert in connection to. At first he was charming, you would never know or even have an idea. Pimp looking hat with a feather. Drinks, smokes, chews toothpicks. Jeans and boots at times. Changes cars and clothes. her drinking in a cheerful mood, giggling, trusting, naive, rev of an engine, and a reference to swimming. Him or her or another victim. May have seen him around. Reference to number 7. Can be a month, day, or year. Number 16. This was sexually motivated. Then that was, I believe, the reading in the cold cases. Then January 2019, this was the reading in my group. Man with an old style. This is when I didn't realize it was the same lady until after I had started the reading and was in the middle of it. So I got a man in an old style hat, pulled down, brown suit, loafers, cigarette. Here, shoes on the sidewalk. Reference to 1980s. Hat tilted, cigarette smell. The name Charles. Bar or pub. Him drinking. Sitting at a bar. Area that she was found in. Bushy kind of bridge or walkway in the distance. Water and lights coming off of it. Vision of him walking, loafers hitting the cement. Looks like walking in the area, like above it. Car sounds older. I got the year 1999. Color white. Hands around throat. Knife. Smiling, laughing, that was her. I got the reference to weed and alcohol, maybe in secret that night, or him. She had a really contagious laugh. Put flowers in her hair, yellow and white. Got the word primrose. Letter A, before I realized it was Amber again. Number 9, candy or lollipop. Very well dressed, or at least was at the time for that night out. That was him, in reference to him. Late 30s, early 40s, chestnut brown hair. Chestnut brown hair came in again, hair on his face, definitely smokes, looked like a businessman at times. Other times he wore jeans, cutting with a saw. I keep seeing a farm around him, building. Charles kept repeating, even if it's out of character, this night she smoked weed or was offered by him. One time he did have his hands around her throat. Per her friend, 9 was probably the time she was found, between 8 and 10, so that might be the reference where 9 is coming in. Down in it, she was found down an embankment in water. Lights were bouncing off the water, and there was a bridge was definitely there. That was also validated by her. Was not told that till after I gave the reading. I kept hearing the name Ashley, so maybe another girl killed around that area. He was watching Amber at the bar. I see him lurking, but watching her at the bar. That's why I saw him at the bar, looking around. And that was validating her that they had went to a bar that night, and they were dancing. Month of January is significant for him or another victim. Get the feeling of stalking, being followed, being watched. Guy has a major temper and aggression, as I see him throwing a fit, throwing stuff off a desk. Number 2 is coming through, so as the month of February. So that number 2 could be February, or a day, or 2 months, 2 years, some kind of reference. Number 2 could be, however it fits. Keep hearing there's another. Other girl looks to be blonde. I got Ashley, and number 4 again. Looking at the stars, the letter T, Tom, and maybe a Tom connection or relation. Hearing words, I said no. Switches back to a guy walking and smoking a cigarette with his head down. His eyes are lighter, maybe blue. Facial hair, more rounder face. From the side, he looks shaven, so maybe changes by shaving his face. Number 5, truck looks to be lighter in color. He could have changed it. That might be why the white came in. Is it a white truck? Reference to R, year 2000 as a connection, or the number 2000. Bits and pieces of different things were coming in. Mountain in the distance that was green with yellow flowers. 99, connection to him or a victim, maybe her. So that came in again as well. I know it's kind of confusing because I did more than one reading, so the first part was the stuff that came in together, and those were the 2 readings that I did. She shows me, now this is the reading that I did mostly recently. I did it in my reading group with, my team that I work with, and so this is what I got. She shows me her dancing, her hands up in the air, going up and down. She's dancing with the music. I can't tell if the music is from a jukebox or not. He's looking at her, watching her. She's seen him before. He's seen her before. His hat is tipped. I keep seeing him with the black rimmed hat with the feather and a band. My son calls it a fedora. I don't know if that's what it is. He's drinking. I'm trying to zone because it's weird. They show me clear, but then they say whiskey. Okay, whiskey sour, I believe is what he's drinking. He smokes. I can smell the smoke. And they show me again. They show me he has a brown suit-like thing on, and they show me loafers. And I'm hearing businessman, then mechanic. Feel he has a few trades. He works on cars, has a few different kinds. Hear the word junkyard along with contractor. Name Charles come in yet again. Trying to make out the last name. Finnegan or Finanigan or something like that. That's not exactly, but it has that sound. His eyes are bluish green. Sort of feel he has an Irish-Scottish descent. He has chestnut hair and a mustache and beard. I hear that he shaves after he kills. See a ring on his finger. Can't tell if it's a wedding ring or not, or if it may make women feel safe. Hearing words, 2 sons. So he has basically probably 2 grown sons. He may be divorced, but still pretending to be married. He was an abusive drinker, I hear. He's a bit creepy, but he can be charming. It switches to, I see Amber bent down talking to him when he was in a sportish car, that red Corvette with lights that pop up. This is probably a different time, not that night of. It was just a friendly convo that time. Trying to see who, now we're switching back to the bar scene. And I was trying to see who leaves first. So he puts his cigarette out, gulps his drink, and he goes outside. I have to ask if there's any alleyways that are that were hidden in that area when this happened, and her friend said yes. Because I see soon after her and her friends decide to leave, because I see him in the shadows tucked between buildings waiting. Car is close by, but as we know, it's an older type truck with a loud motor. Brum, brum. So, do the alleyways go to the other side? I asked her. She said yes, kind of like blocks, but dark areas. Because what I saw was she was kind of falls behind, and I see her messing with her shoe, and her friend says yes, she fell behind. He offers her a cig or a marijuana, but he offers it to her. She takes a drag, but says she has to go. He puts a cloth over her mouth and drags her through the alley to the truck on the other side. And she's knocked out in the car. He goes to this area hidden, surrounded by bushes, but you can see water over the bushes. She goes back to the lights hitting off the water, can see the bridge and the walkway in the distance, and all that was validated by her friend that she was found in an area that looked like that. Not far from where she was found, and she shows me her trying to fight. She's hitting him, but this is where he grabs her by the throat and she can't breathe, and takes out what looks like a hunting knife and stabs her multiple times. I do feel this was sexually motivated, and he got off on the kill. She's not showing me if he raped her, but the feeling is there. Next, I see her rolling down the embankment, and she hits the water at the bottom where the bushes and cars in the distance. There are bushes and cars in the distance. Again, lights bounce off the water, and I hear his loafers hit the cement sidewalk, and he lights a cigarette, and his hat is tilted. He's dressed nice. Hearing it again, Flanagan, something like that. Definitely an F. He trolls, stalks, looks for women, or did back then. Goes to places with lots of women, strip clubs. Horse name again, Pink Lights, Pony. I also get he lives on a farm-like area. Phil, is still alive, or was at the time of this reading. Rural area, mountains in the background, way in the background. Yellow flowers grow there. He does or did hunt. Keep seeing pigs and cows. I don't know if they're his or not. There are others. Before I got at least one, but I think there may be multiples. Ashley comes in, and she's around 18, blonde. He doesn't always take them from the same town. Amber was not his first nor his last. Just look at how smoothly he got her. Done this before. Numbers 15 and 27. She keeps saying multiple cars, like he has multiple cars. Month of August comes up again. She's saying thank you. I think his middle name may have a T. it's possible, but I know T came in again. She was very visual, looks like a different towns around the same state area where lots of girls hang out. That's where he likes to go. He's good at stalking, smokes or smoked a lot, or a connection to Flanagan or Fanagan. He lives in the country, possibility that it is Madison, but it's definitely country. And what's weird is I went back and looked because I don't remember the readings after I do them and what I get. I have no clue what I get. So I went back after this was over and I looked at it, and it's funny because the mountains with the yellow flowers were in the last reading I did, and I didn't remember that. Because when you're channeling, you don't remember. Anyways, the name could be fake, but it came in really strong. People that fix cars, handyman, contractor, they knew each other in passing the year 2000, but she did say there was a strip club 2000 as well around in, I don't remember where she said it was. I feel he's still out there, but I don't feel he's been caught for anything like this. He's pretty smart, and most people don't think he's capable. He's good at being charming and normal. He has a lockbox. Kind of an old pro, I'm hearing. He may have moved around when he was younger. I don't know if he was born and bred there, but his ex-wife's name could be Ashley, or, like, again, it could be one of his victims. I just know that it kept coming in. She's definitely blonde. He may have white hair now and 2 grown boys. So, if any of this makes sense to you, please shoot me a message so I can pass on the information to her. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and being here. If you have any cases you would like me to work on, you can also send those to me as well. I do take personal readings and mediumship. You can contact me, gentleheartreadings at hotmail.com, or on Facebook. And I'll put the stuff in the description. Until next time, I wish you all the best.